Hello, my dear students and the rest of the learners. Welcome to part 39 of a 53-part series of tutorials in System Analysis, a design course. In this presentation, we shall be looking on developing system testing report. My name is Memedi M, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. This is a continuation of the topic by the title Perform System Testing and Debugging. So, what does developing system testing report entail? A system testing report is a formal, comprehensive, and structured document that communicates the results and the findings of system testing activities. It goes beyond simply listing test outcomes by providing an integrated account of test execution processes, observed system behavior, identified defects, performance metrics, and overall system readiness for deployment. A system testing report documents the testing activities performed, test plans used, test cases executed, defects identified, corrective actions taken, and final test results. It provides formal evidence that the system has been tested comprehensively. From a systems analysis and design standpoint, the report functions as a critical evaluation instrument, bridging the gap between technical testing activities and managerial decision-making. It synthesizes raw testing data into meaningful insights that can guide stakeholders in detecting whether the system satisfies functional and non-functional requirements. Consequently, the testing report is both a technical artifact and a managerial tool, ensuring that the system quality is objectively assessed and documented. System testing reports are not uniform. They vary depending on the scope, level of detail, intended audience, and the specific objectives of the testing process. Each type of report serves a distinctive purpose in the overall quality assurance framework. The following are therefore the main types of system testing reports that an analyst can prepare. Number one is test summary report. A test summary report provides a high-level overview of the entire testing process, focusing on aggregated results rather than detailed technical data. It typically includes key metrics such as the total number of test cases executed, the proportion of passed and failed tests, and an overall assessment of system quality. This type of report is particularly valuable for a senior management and stakeholders who require a concise yet informative snapshot of system readiness. By summarizing complex testing activities into easily interpretable indicators, it facilitates strategic decision-making without overwhelming non-technical audiences with excessive detail. The second type of report is detailed test report. A detailed test report offers an in-depth account of individual test cases, capturing the full scope of testing activities. It documents specific inputs, expected outputs, actual outputs, and the pass or fail status of each test case. This level of detail is essential for developers and testers as it allows them to trace system behavior at a granular level. It supports debugging, validation, and verification processes by providing clear evidence of how the system responds under specific conditions. As such, it serves as a fundamental document for technical analysis and problem resolution. The third type is defect or bug report. This defect report is a specialized document that focuses exclusively on identified faults within the system. It provides detailed descriptions of each defect, including its nature, severity, priority, and the steps required to reproduce it. This report is critical for defect management and tracking, ensuring that issues are systematically addressed and resolved. By categorizing defects based on their impact, it enables development teams to prioritize fixes and allocate resources effectively. Furthermore, it enhances accountability by maintaining a clear record of defect status, throughout the system development life cycle. Number 4 is test execution reports. A test execution report monitors the progress and the status of testing activities over time. It includes information on completed tests, pending tests, and any deviations from the planned testing schedule. This report is particularly useful for project managers and team leaders as it provides insights into testing efficiency, resource utilization, and adherence to timelines. It supports project control by highlighting delays, bottlenecks, and areas requiring intervention. Number 5 is performance test report. The performance test report evaluates the system behavior under varying load conditions, focusing on metrics such as response time, throughput, and resource utilization. It provides a quantitative assessment of the system's ability to handle expected and peak workloads. This report is essential for assessing system scalability, reliability, and efficiency. It helps identify performance bottlenecks and informs decisions related to system optimization and infrastructure planning. In modern systems, where performance is a critical success factor, this report plays a pivotal role in ensuring user satisfaction and operational stability. These systems testing reports are important because they support decision-making. System testing reports provide evidence-based insights that enable stakeholders to make informed decisions regarding system deployment, further testing, or redesign. By presenting verified data on system performance and reliability, the report eliminates guesswork and ensures that decisions are grounded in objective analysis. Number 2, it enhances communication. The report serves as a communication bridge between technical teams and non-technical stakeholders. It isolates complex testing results into structured and understandable information, ensuring that all parts have a shared understanding of system status and quality. Number 3, it ensures accountability. By documenting all testing activities and outcomes, the report establishes clear accountability within the development and testing teams. It provides a traceable record of actions taken, issues identified, and resolutions implemented, thereby promoting transparency and responsibility. Number 4, it facilitates defect tracking. Testing reports provide a systematic framework for recording, categorizing, and monitoring defects. This facilitates efficient defect management, ensuring that issues are tracked from identification through resolution and verification. Number 5, it provides documentation for future reference. System testing reports serve as valuable historical records that can be used in the future system maintenance, upgrades, and audits. They provide insights into past issues and solutions, enabling more efficient problem solving in subsequent system iterations. Number 6, it improves system quality. Through detailed documentation and analysis of defects and performance issues, testing reports contribute to the continuous improvement of system quality. They provide feedback that can be used to redefine system design, enhance functionality, and optimize performance. Each system testing report has a specific structure. This is because a well-structured system testing report ensures clarity, completeness, and ease of interpretation. Each section plays a specific role in presenting a comprehensive view of testing activities. The following are therefore the main parts of a system testing report. Number 1, we have the title page. The title page provides essential identification details, including the project name, report title, date, and others. It establishes the context of the report and ensures proper documentation and referencing. Number 2 is introduction part. The introduction outlines the purpose, the scope, and objectives of the testing report. It provides background information and sets the stage for understanding the content of the report, ensuring that readers are aware of what is being evaluated. Number 3 is test environment description. This section describes the technical environment in which testing was conducted, including hardware, software, network configurations, and the tools used. It is critical or crucial for ensuring that test results can be accurately interpreted and replicated. Number 4 is test strategy and methodology. This section explains the approaches and techniques used during testing, including test design methods and testing types. It provides insights into the systematic processes followed to ensure comprehensive testing. Number 5 is test cases and results. This is the core section of the report, presenting detailed information on test cases, including inputs, expected outputs, actual results, and pass or fail status. It provides concrete evidence of system behavior and forms the basis for analysis. Number 6 is defect summary. The defect summary consolidates information on identified defects, including their severity, frequency, and status. It highlights critical issues that may impact system performance and reliability. Number 7 is performance analysis. This section evaluates system performance using quantitative metrics. It provides insights into system efficiency, responsiveness, and scalability, helping identify potential performance issues. Number 8 is risk and issues analysis. This section identifies unresolved issues, potential risks, and limitations of testing. It provides a realistic assessment of system readiness and highlights areas requiring further attention. Number 9 is conclusion and recommendations. The conclusion summarizes the overall findings of the testing process and it provides recommendations for improvement. It guides stakeholders in making decisions regarding system deployment and future actions. Number 10 is appendices. The appendices include supplementary material such as logs, test scripts, and additional data. This provides detailed supporting information without cluttering the main report. Developing a system testing report follows the following steps, or this is the procedure for developing a system testing report. Number 1, you define reporting objectives. This step involves identifying the purpose of the report and the information needs of stakeholders. Clear objectives ensure that the report is relevant, focused, and aligned with decision-making requirements. Number 2 is collecting test data. All relevant data from testing activities is gathered, including test results, logs, and defect records. Accurate and comprehensive data collection is essential for reliable reporting. Number 3 is analyze test results. The collected data is analyzed to identify trends, patterns, and anomalies. This step transforms raw data into meaningful insights that can inform decision-making. Number 4 is document test outcomes. Test results are organized and documented in a structured format, ensuring clarity and consistency. This step involves presenting data in a way that is easy to understand and interpret. Number 5 is summarizing defects. Defects are categorized based on severity and status, providing a clear overview of system issues. This helps prioritize resolution efforts. Number 6 is evaluate system performance. Performance metrics are analyzed to assess system efficiency and identify bottlenecks. This step ensures that the system meets performance requirements. Number 7 is identify risks and limitations. Any unresolved issues or complaints are documented, providing a realistic assessment of system readiness and highlighting areas for improvement. Number 8 is developing conclusions and recommendations. Based on the analysis, conclusions are drawn and recommendations are made regarding system employment or system deployment or further testing. Number 9 is review and validate report. The report is reviewed for accuracy, completeness, and clarity. Validation ensures that the report accurately reflects testing outcomes. Number 10 is distribute the report. The final report is shared with the stakeholders, enabling informed decision-making and facilitating further action. System testing is therefore a critical stage in the system development lifecycle. It ensures that the developed system functions correctly, meets user requirements, and operates efficiently in real environments. Through various testing techniques, such as unit testing, integration testing, and usability testing that we learned or we went through earlier, developers can identify and correct system defects. Proper debugging procedures, system configuration, and comprehensive testing reports help guarantee system reliability and successful system deployment. Therefore, developing a system testing report is a critical and analytical process that transforms testing activities into actionable knowledge. It ensures that the system quality is objectively evaluated, documented, and communicated effectively. A well-developed report not only supports decision-making, but also contributes to continuous improvement, accountability, and long-term system reliability, making it an indispensable component of system testing and overall system development. And with that, my dear students and the rest of the learners, we have come to the end of part 39 of this series. You can now proceed to part 40 of the 53-part series of tutorials in which we are going to have a revision on the system testing and debugging. Congratulations for learning part 39 of 53 on developing system testing report in Perform System Testing and Debugging topic in System Analysis and Design course. You can access the rest of the parts in the series as well as other computer or ICT videos by clicking or tapping on Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel below this video. To subscribe to the channel, tap on subscribe button below this video in YouTube if it's not currently reading as subscribed. For any further correspondence, kindly write it to us through the email emilyswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me. Let's meet in part 40 of the series as we do revision on this topic. And God bless.